Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms. These are Charter Moms Chats, and it is still enrollment season, so it's still time for families to make choices about where to enroll their students for the coming school year, 2023-24. It still feels weird to say that, how did we get here? But today we're featuring the updated enrollment guide blog post talking about Essence Prep, which just opened this past fall. And in December, I was lucky to go to their groundbreaking on their new campus. So we have so much to talk about. So let me introduce our guests. So we have in the middle of the screen here is Akeem Brown, and he's the founder and superintendent of Essence Prep. And then on the far side of the screen is Jennipha Ricks, known as Jay Ricks, and she is the Chief Learning Officer and the principal at Essence Prep. So Akeem and Jay, thank you for joining me on Charter Moms Chat.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us, Inga, always.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to send the first question to Akeem, and this is for folks who maybe haven't heard about Essence Prep before, and I want you to, I know, I'm sure you know this by heart, mission and vision of Essence Prep. Like, what do people need to know?
Yeah, to sum it up, Essence Prep was birthed out of this vision and idea of community agents, change agents, those who are leaders in their own community. So really the mission of Essence Prep is to make sure that each of our scholars, we refer to our students here as scholars, each of our scholars are on a journey of self-discovery. So we're cultivating that knowledge of self, making sure that they have that academic rigor, right? Both reading, math, science, and social studies. And then outside of that, we are making sure that we're cultivating leading agents of change, those who will effectively impact change in the positive direction for their community. So, that's really our vision. That's our mission. We were grounded out of this idea that 490 parents, 62 students worked together over the course of 2 years to write the application and start Essence Prep. And within our first year, we believe that we are successfully meeting the needs of our community.
Yeah. Thank you, Akeem. That's wonderful. Thanks for summing it up. So Jane, the next question I'm sending your way because this is more of an academic question. So I was wondering if you could talk about like the Essence Prep learning model. Like what are those important elements, right? Like with a project-based learning and like being aware of public policy, talking about social emotional learning, like culturally affirming curriculum. So there's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
So
and I'm going to try to keep it as simple as I possibly can because, we could go on and on and on about what we do here at Essence. But of course, it all goes back to our mission and vision and how we're going to create and cultivate these leading agents of change. And so one of the ways that we do that is by offering project-based learning. And we know that the individuals who are usually doing the most talking, the ones that are the most engaged, are truly the ones who are doing the most learning. So we really encourage our teachers to be more facilitators versus, like Mr. Brown says, the sage on the stage, because we want to make sure that our scholars are truly engaged in the learning so that they can carry it with them, because we know the more hands-on they are, the more collaborative they are, the more they're able to internalize what it is that they're learning. And we do that by utilizing Amplify as our curriculum, Eureka Math, and STEM scopes for science. And then as far as SEL, our social emotional learning, our goal is really to make sure that we're fostering this culture on our campus where our scholars and even our staff feel safe to be able to come to school each day, because we know with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there are certain needs that need to be met in order for our kids to be successful. So incorporating that social emotional learning piece is truly something that's an important. And to tie into that, we also know that our scholars come from a background that they may have experienced quite a bit of trauma. And so we are working towards making sure that our entire campus is educated in trauma-informed practices and how we handle that and how we engage with our scholars. And so through that, circling back to SEL, we do our morning circles and our closing circles. And so through that, those paths are how we're able to engage with students to find out if there's some deeper rooted trauma or things going on at home so that we can address them so that they can move forward with the learning here at Essence Prep. And then some of the programs that we do offer, we offer dance. We have through which is actually built into our master schedule. And so our kinder through second grade students scholars get to engage in hip hop or ballet. And then we have our third through fifth graders who get to engage with AM project where they get to learn the technology behind DJing. Something else that we do here on campus, because we are truly set on supporting our scholars' needs academically, we have an hour block embedded within our master schedule where they get intervention. So all all scholars across the board, kinder through fifth grade, get some kind of intervention and academic support. And then in an extension of that, 3:30 to 4:30, they still get an additional hour of academic support because we are really set on trying to close those gaps as much as we can. And then from 4:36 to 6, we offer enrichment programs or clubs. So we have martial arts, basketball, baseball, art expression, Girl Scouts, Roadrunner readers. So we offer a plethora of things for kids to be able to be engaged in, so that they can expand their minds. And here soon, we are going to be becoming an IB campus. So we are looking to start with our kindergartners and with our sixth graders, because not only do we want to develop and cultivate leading agents of change within our community, we want to create global citizens who are able to go anywhere in the world and be outstanding and be successful and just to be free. And one of the things that I've spoken to Akeem about and our board is that for me, when I think of education, I think of the word freedom. We want to make sure that here at Essence, we are offering our scholars the freedom of knowledge and to be able to expand their minds and to go places and see things that they have never seen before. And so that's something that we truly push through SEL, through project-based learning, through as many hands-on and engaging experiences as we can, opportunities to engage with community members, whether they come into the school or they go out on field trips. And so we're really trying to do as much as we can to really positively impact the whole child and not just certain aspects of the child.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going a little off script here, but y'all had you posted on social media, there was a campus visit from folks, I can't remember which firm they were from, but they were teaching students about business.
Oh, USAA. So USAA.
Right.
Okay. So yeah. So
Yeah.
USAA came, and that was a phenomenal visit from them. They were able to speak to our fourth and fifth graders about commercial real estate. And so that was something that they were very engaged in. And I don't know how many elementary schools that have the opportunity for scholars to engage in that. So, definitely kudos to Mr. Brown and USAA for setting up that partnership. It was beautiful, and we definitely can't wait to have them come out again.
Yeah, USAA is a great company, a real leader in San Antonio. But it's great to have like their actual personnel, coming and interacting with students. Like that's great. It's great for USAA to get back, and it's great that y'all have these relationships and welcoming people, expanding the students' horizons. Okay, so next question is for Akeem, and I want to let you brag about your team because I've watched you build, over the years, like this amazing group of people, including Principal Jay. But can you talk about like what are you most proud of? Like, this is just like give shout outs to this amazing team you've built for Essence Prep.
Yeah, this work is not easy. It's not easy at all. But what does make it just a little bit easier is having folks who are willing and able. That's the way I characterize it, right? You got to be willing and able to do this work. And fortunately for us, I'm blessed. I'm privileged to have a group of folks who are fitting in both of those categories. They're willing and able. Starting off with our principal. I'm not saying this because she's on camera. I tell her this quite often, that I could not do this work without her. Her knowledge, her skill sets, but also her passion and just direct commitment to this community. I don't think you can find it anywhere else. She's just a giver. at all times. She's willing to give as much as she possibly can just to make sure not only scholars are succeeding, right? Being a principal and being our chief learning officer, she is responsible for all instruction that happens on our campus. And so her job is to make sure that teachers, our educators, are succeeding. And she does that in an impeccable way. My operations director is just by far first class. I mean, we were able and blessed to get this guy, Damian Lutz, right out of the Marine Corps. And many people were like, well, look, he doesn't have any school experience. But I mean, I don't know how many Marines don't have experience in almost anything and everything. And so just safety, security, transportation, food services, keeping the building open and closed at the right times, right? Clean and safe. These are all things that the operation team, led by Mr. Lutz, manages. My HR director, my finance director, she's amazing. She just steps in and makes sure that everyone is fully supported. All of my coaches, every last teacher that I have, it just makes my job easier. I get to sit down with superintendents who are always complaining about, looking for someone to replace someone, or someone's got that apathy and doesn't want to show back up to work. I don't have those issues. So I'm knocking on wood. And I think a lot of it just has to do with the environment that we all have created, right? Every last one of us has created an environment that we all, one, feel safe, feel comfortable, feel confident in the work that we're doing. And that models behaviors for students. So I can tell you, I have first class, A-rated, best staff right here on campus. And I'm very, very proud to work alongside each of them every day.
Yeah. Well, and also too, you have an extraordinary board. Like I know at the groundbreaking, Jackie Gorman, right? Like she just, I mean, it felt like we were visiting her. We're all on her porch, basically, right? Like that, she's summoning this, beautiful new school building out of the ground, but then, like Brian Dillard, right? And I mean, you have so many strong board members who have like deep roots in San Antonio and really understand the community that you want to serve.
That's right. That's right. My board is dynamic. Everything starts from the top, right? And so having a board who's fully committed to this community, most of my board lives, work, and plays right here on the east side of San Antonio. So this is personal to them, right? While they know this is good service, their job is to show up, govern, and create policy. This is personal to them because Brian, for example, our board chair, he's a third generation Eastsider. Right. And to see schools succeed, to see children happy in his community. I hear him say it to me all the time. He texts me today, how do we do parent teacher conferences? He heard from another school that they cancel school for the whole day and have the parents come in. He's like, so what do we do? So I tell him what we do. And he's like, oh, we do it better already. So the things that, Brian is very, very into, and he takes it serious because he wants to see this succeed, not only for his own ego, because he's the board chair, he wants to see this succeed because of this is his community. He takes it very personal. And that's for every one of my board members. So I'm just so grateful to have a board that holds me accountable because they know what's at stake.
Right. Yeah, it means so much to them. Yeah. And okay, so next question is for Jay. And you touched on this a little bit with things like the enrichment, like dance and the DJs and commercial arts and stuff like that. But I wanted you to, or let's like zoom out a little bit. So it talked about like what grade levels are y'all serving at Essence Prep? Like kind of what is the growth plan? And then also talk about like the ways that you make Essence like really welcoming to students about things like uniforms and transportation and meals and things like that.
Yeah. So currently we're serving kinder through fifth grade. Our ultimate goal is to expand and to serve pre-K through eighth grade. So next year our plan is to serve pre-K through sixth grade. So we are currently enrolling. So I'm going to go ahead and say it now and you'll hear it again. Go ahead and go to essenceprep.org. Go ahead and start enrolling your scholars now. Reach out to Ms. Damika Burton. She is our phenomenal director of student of enrollment and recruitment and family engagement. And she will get you everything that you need so that you can have your scholar here with us at Essence. So as far as uniforms, we do offer 2 shirts, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Brown, for scholars who are entering in. So we do support them with that. And then we will have, at least in our new build, we're going to create a store where they'll be able to get Essence swag, they'll be able to get shirts, they'll be able to get whatever they need, so that we're setting them up for success. And so that's one way that we try to make sure that we're accommodating to our caregivers and to our students. Because of our staff to student ratio at this point in time, there are smaller class sizes. So kids get the opportunity to engage with their teacher a lot more closely. They get the opportunity to engage with one another a lot more closely. And staff here are really intentional about not only knowing our scholars, but also about knowing our families. We have staff now who can just see cars and automatically know who that family member is, who the scholar belongs to that vehicle. As soon as we have kids come in off the bus, we are able to read their faces and know if something's wrong with them. That way we can intervene quickly, so that it doesn't snowball into something else down the road. A lot of our staff have magnificent relationships with kids, so they're comfortable to go to more than one adult. And we know that research says that in order for kids to be successful, they need at least one adult on campus that they can go to if there's a need. And we have multiple adults on campus that some students choose to go to if there's a situation, which I think is always a beautiful thing when you have our family feel, our community feel on campus, so that kids feel safe in this environment. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that we offer here. And I know that that's a big deal because with COVID, with a lot of the background some of our scholars come from, they need that feeling of comfort. They need that feeling of safety. They need that feeling of consistency that adults are going to show up for them every day. And that's something that we do here to make sure that our scholars are getting everything that they need.
Thank you, Jay. So I'm just going to recap. So it's grades pre-K through 6 in 2023-24, and then we'll circle back at the end. I've got all of Damika's contact info I can put up on the screen to make sure people know like where to go. And anyway, just so folks know, like the whole enrollment guide blog post, there's a link to that in the description of this video. Mm-hmm. So if anybody who comes across the video, you can click through and read all about it, and that has links to the website for Essence Prep. So I want to encourage people, like, keep digging and get your questions answered, or call the school and and get your questions answered. But Jay, that was a great description about how you make people feel welcome, like how the students feel welcome, and they know there's an adult, at least one adult that they can bring their concerns to. And with such a small family feel, like the adults on campus can look at the students and get how they're feeling and give them the support that they need. I think that's the kind of environment that a lot of families are looking for.
Right. And even with transportation, I know you asked about that. Our director of operations and Mr. Brown do a great job of working with families to make sure that we can have access to them, to support them with getting scholars to and from home. So they do a great job of reaching out, having conversations, and coming up with a very inclusive plan to make sure that scholars and families are supported. And with our meals this year, we worked with Science School of Technology. But the beauty and the excitement is that we are now getting our own space in our NPR where we'll actually be able to create meals on campus. So that's something that we are excited about and looking forward to in the upcoming school year.
Oh, that's awesome. So again, with thinking about looking towards the future, I'm going to put Akeem back on screen and ask about the new campus. So because I've seen the renderings of it, I've got some of those images in the blog post. But what are some of the perks that will be in the new campus, and when will scholars be able to access it?
I'm so excited. I just was on grounds, on our new grounds yesterday. We are at the second level of our concrete pour. So that's how granular I'm into the weeds of things, right? But I will tell you that I'm excited. Our kiddos will go home in December of this year for Christmas break, and they will return in January to what I would call the best Christmas gift ever, a brand new facility, 65,000 square feet, 2 stories, 38 classrooms, a bibliothèque. We're working with the county to bring a digital library alive here on the east side of San Antonio through our campus. We're going to have a gym. We're going to have a very large playground, soccer field, outdoor classrooms, amphitheater style. And so really and truly, this blessing that we're going to be able to enjoy with our scholars and families is going to be the newest addition to the east side of San Antonio as well. So we are extremely excited to bring this site on campus. Some of the activities that our principal just talked about, the ballet, the AM project, the Gardopia, they will have permanent homes on our campus. And so you'll see more of that activity, or I should say that activity amplified as much as possible. And even more organizations will be invited on campus. You know, my belief, Inga, and we've talked about this before right here at Charter Moms Chats, is that, you know, I don't believe in creating a new program. I believe in working with partners in our community who are already serving scholars and doing it extremely well. So we're reaching out to as many nonprofits as possible and say, hey, if you are youth focused and you're really doing, you know, it well, we want to do it with you. We want to offer it to our scholars. And so what I'm looking forward to, the last piece I'll state, is that we have a community space known as the Family Lodge that will be located on campus. So people like you, Inga, who's a part of our family, can come and join us in the middle of the day and spend time with students, whether that's being a reading buddy, whether that's also just being a mentor, being present, volunteering and supporting. But outside of that, you too could be a part of the education on campus, because we're going to start offering dual language to our pre-K kids and starting out next year. And with that, we want to make sure that parents understand how to speak the language too. We don't want the kiddos to go home and start speaking Spanish and mom and dad is like, so we're going to be doing dual language, dual education courses, right, for dual generations. And so those type of things is what we are going to offer at Essence Prep. It's going to be a community space. It's not going to be just this dormant big building that is a school and open on these set hours throughout the week. It's a community space and open to anybody and everybody that wants to celebrate the work that we're doing.
Yeah. Well, Akeem, your ability to like create these partnerships and build relationships with people, I think that's one of your superpowers, and it's part of what's really powered the success of Essence Prep. And I'm really excited to see how that blossoms like in the new facility. Okay, so I'm going to put both of y'all on screen because I want to hear from like, you know, I love sharing these details of like, you know, about like, you know, 65,000 square feet. Like those are great details, but I think stories really bring things to life. And so maybe how about let's do Akeem first. Like, can you share and now like what's different about this versus like a year ago is like now you have like, you know, I mean, before you would tell stories about like as you were getting input from the community about how to design school, now you actually have the school, it's up and running. So like, so what have you seen of like scholars in action and interacting with their guides, and you know, what can you share that will help give our listeners a sense of like what the culture is that you're building at Essence Prep?
You know, the culture that we're building here is just this idea of community. You know, what we want is we want folks to feel comfortable and feel safe in community. To do that, that only elevates your ability to learn, right? If you're comfortable, then you're willing to be vulnerable, right? You're willing to raise your hand and get the answer wrong, but you know that you're going to be fully supported. Those are the things that not only scholars need, but I'm gonna be quite frank, I have a 2-year-old and I need that too. I need a space where I can raise my hand and be wrong, right? Because I don't know everything. I need support. I need guidance and advice. And so for us, it's, you know, how do we do work with the community that helps amplify this message, that folks know that this is a continuous journey for all of us, right? Your children learning is a part of your journey. I watch you, Inga, just personally, and I hate to put you on the spot like this, but the way you talk about the education system that your son and your daughter is receiving and how prideful you are in that system, that makes me proud, right? Not having your children at my school, but pride that you as a parent feel comfortable, feel safe about the school that your children go to. That is exactly what I want to replicate. I want moms, dads, grandmas, abuelas, abuelitas. I want everybody to feel that same feeling, that they are prideful and happy, and own what we're doing here too, right? So I don't ever want a parent to say, well, that's what they do at Essence. No, that's what we do at Essence, right? Because it is a we. So that is what I'm looking forward to. That's the culture that we're trying to build. Just the little events that we've had in the past, whether it was our groundbreaking, whether it was the gala, those type of things, while they're not on our campus currently, they are reflective of the work that we do. We try to bring everybody together to celebrate great work.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so Jay, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
So yeah, what do you see with your scholars? Like, what kind of interactions have you seen that show like this culture that Akeem is talking about? This community.
So, in order to address it, I do want to say this first. And so, over my shoulder, I'm mirrored. So, over my shoulder, we have our daily affirmation here at Essence, and this is something that is said every morning in our morning announcements. And it's: I'm a blessing, not a mistake. I'm a dreamer, a poet, scientist, mathematician, writer, historian, and leader. I can be what I set out to be. The royal blood of my ancestors runs through my veins. And this is important because you can tell that our scholars have bought into this, and that it's something, and not even our scholars, our staff as well. And it is something that is near and dear to our hearts, in the heartbeat of Essence. And it shows in scholars. For example, we have one scholar in particular who came in that didn't speak, and now he speaks, and sometimes he speaks a lot. So it's just in stories and seeing things like that. Or we had another scholar in the fourth grade who came in, who was scared to read because she really struggled, and now she reads very well. And it's not even the end of the school year yet. And it just goes to show that when you put the level of love and care into kids the way that we do here at Essence, that like one of the books that we read as an SLT, they do more than survive, they thrive. And that's our ultimate goal here at Essence, is to ensure that our kids, by the time that they leave here, that they are set up for success, not just in the community, like I said earlier, but globally as well.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, am I remembering correctly that the affirmation that the scholars recited that at the groundbreaking?
They
Yeah.
did. They did it in the form of a song, yes.
That gave me chills. There was so much passion. It was a shout by the end. Like that was,
Mhm.
yeah. There was a lot of heart in it. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Jay, for sharing like stories. So I our time has gone by so quickly, but I want to make sure that we share like the details, like what folks can do to learn more about Essence Prep. So right, the website has lots of information. So, but like what other Jay, what other steps can folks do, like to get the application in or get their questions answered?
Yeah, they can definitely go to essenceprep.org and get information via the website. They can also get in contact with Ms. Damika Burton via email as well. Her email is dburton@essenceprep.org. So contact her for further information, and even get in touch with her if parents want to come in and tour the school. So her number's there. Call her 210-997-5613 and set up a time to actually come in and tour the school and talk to the SLT and, maybe one or two of the scholars, and see exactly what's happening here. Because sometimes the best approach is to see things for yourself. It's easy to hear about it, but when you actually get to come in and experience it, it's on a whole different level.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
encourage people to visit our Facebook as well, our social media. We try to keep that updated as much as possible so people can see real time information, photos, what's happening on campus. But what I am encouraging folks to visit our Facebook for currently is you will get information about Explore Essence, which is our open house. We just call it Explore Essence. Encouraging folks to come and pop in and spend some time with us this Friday, right, Ricks? I believe this Friday.
I have to double check, but I believe it's this Friday.
I'm sorry, we've just been running like crazy.
Mhm.
But the information will definitely be on the website
Yes.
and will be on Facebook. But as Jay mentioned, you can always reach out to us by phone or reach out to us by email, and we'll schedule one-on-one time with you. We'll come to you if you can't get to us. So that we can help you just learn more, orient yourself to the Essence Prep community.
I was just tabbed over to the Facebook page just to look for the, when y'all have the details for the Explore Essence event, I'll be sure and share it in the discussion group on
Please
Facebook.
do.
So that's my chance to plug the SHRM's discussion group on Facebook. We think it is the best place to go for getting, up-to-date information about, what's happening in schools in San Antonio, and shrooms.com, where the enrollment guide blog post for Essence Prep is the newest top post on the site. So encourage everyone to go read that. So, okay, well, Akeem, you want to close us out, the closing thought?
Yeah, I think the only thing I will state here is one, I want to take the time to thank you, Inga. I say this often. Jay has heard me say this probably too much, but thank you are the two most unused words in the English language. And I want to spend the time to just use them right now. And thank you. Your advocacy, your championship, not only for Essence Prep, but for the charter community here in San Antonio is invaluable. I mean, I can't put a price to it. It just has been amazing. So I just want to thank you and all the moms that I enjoy just following the chats, the conversation in the groups, and learning more about what schools are doing, how we can better support families across San Antonio. So I just want to thank you for your vision and obviously the execution, and making sure that all of us who are committed to this community, the public education community, are aware of what we're offering. So thank you, Inga.
Well, I really appreciate that. Jay, you want to close this out?
Yes. So, like Mr. Brown said, thank you for always taking time to sit with us and to speak with us and to make sure that Essence is getting out there to the community. We greatly appreciate that. And just to anyone who is looking to enroll their scholars here in Essence, you will not regret it. So please make sure that you take the time to go visit our social media, go to our website, reach out, schedule, an in-person tour so that you can get to know us, but so we can also get to know you as well. So you can just feel, the culture here at Essence. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful to all of y'all who have dedicated your careers to helping children. And if I can support you and help families to find out about these options, then I'm really lucky I get to do this every day.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks y'all. Good to talk to you, and look forward to seeing you in person soon. I would love to come visit the campus myself soon.
Yes, come on out.
We're right here on Lord Road. I tell folks good things are on Lord Road.
That's right. All right. Well, have a great evening. Take care. Give this scholars a hug for me. Okay.
Same. Thank you.
Bye.